Hi everybody, it's Shuba. Welcome back to my channel. I cannot believe that we are already at April TBR. It seems like the year just started, and I know that I say that every TBR video that I create, but it's true. The year is flying by. We're closer to summer than we think. I can't talk too fast though because we have barely gotten spring here in Kansas City. Anyway, I am very excited for this video because I am going to try out the TBR jar prompt pick my books for my next TBR, so for the month of April. As you can see, here is my beautiful shelf of books. Now there are almost 50 books on this bookshelf, and I'm a little embarrassed to say that I have not read any of them. I know, I have a lot I have to get through. How this is going to work is that I have a TBR jar right here of different prompts. I will link below the reading challenge that I got the prompts off of on Storygraph and who the prompts are by, but I have 30 prompts in that mini jar that I will be randomly selecting from. I will be selecting 6 prompts, and the reason why I'm only selecting 6 is because on average I read 10 books a month, and 2 of those books being from Book of the Month and Aardvark Book Club, and then 1 book that I will be talking about later, but I will be buddy reading Legendborn with my YouTube buddy Sully. I want to make sure that those 6 books are selected and I do read them, but then that also opens up opportunities and books for me to read based on my choice and what I want to read with my mood that I have going. Does that make sense? All right, we have the TBR jar. Let's get started. A book with a 1-word title. This is going to be an easy one because I've been wanting to read this book for quite some time. And the book that I'm going to select that has 1-word title is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Let's select the next book. This is going well so far. A book by one of your favorite authors. I would have selected Ali Hazelwood. Okay, let's see here. We're gonna change things up a bit. I'm not cheating, but the first prompt was pick a book with a 1-word title. And the second prompt was pick a book by one of your favorite authors. So I'm going to swap this a little bit. Caraval by Stephanie Garber is going to be the selection for pick a book with a 1-word title. And then Bride is going to be my selection for pick a book by your favorite author. Because I am a big fan of Ali Hazelwood now. I'm a Ali Hazelwood stan. So I'm going to swap these. It's not cheating. I am still following along with these prompts. Our third prompt is going to be the anticipation, you know? A book that starts with a random letter. Use a random letter generator and pick. I'm gonna need my laptop for this. Generate random letters from a random letter generator. I'm going to click the generate random letter. I wasn't sure if we would find one. We have The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. Megan Bannon is a Kansas City author. I'm very excited. Wow, this is so much fun. I'm having a blast. Okay, 2 more books. We're going hot and heavy on romance right now, since Caraval is also considered a romance, I suppose. Romantasy, maybe? A book you've had for a long time. Well, I've had all of these books for a really long time, but maybe I can choose a book that I have had for a very, very, very long time. And that is probably define a long time, you know? What is a long time? I need guidelines. If I'm being honest, I was going to select this book and then I didn't because I was unsure. But I would be lying to myself. The book is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I think this is one of the first books that I got after I finished ACOTAR and I was like getting into my fantasy era. This is it. We have 2 more books. Also, this is my Chiefs shirt after he won the Super Bowl this year. A book from your favorite genre. I would say fantasy, but I've already selected a lot of fantasy. So I am really enjoying romance right now. So I think I am going to select a romance book. Or I could do horror because I really like thriller and horror. Maybe I'll do that, and I'll select a shorter one too since I have quite a hefty amount of pages to read this month of April. We're going to do horror. The book that I have selected is The Vegetarian by Han Kang. I think this is going to be very horrific. We have one more to pick from. I'm having so much fun. I'm also really excited to read these books that I'm selecting. It all works out. Okay, a book set in a different continent. New York City. I'm not sure where Poor Things is set. Perfect. Poor Things by Alistair Gray. The first line, it says, in the 1880s in Glasgow, Scotland. Amazing. We did it. That was so fun. Okay, I know I said 6 prompts, but should I do one more? Just one more? And if I get to it, I'll get to it, but if not, that's okay. We'll do one more. This is too fun. Okay, this is good. A book you think you will rate 5 stars, and I already know. There's been a lot of hype for this book right now, and I've just heard really good things, and this is a book that everyone has been saying to read, and it is, drumroll please, A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. Okay, so I have 7 books selected to read for the month of April. Now, let's get resettled and then we can talk about what these books are about. All right, I have all of the books, the 7 books that I will be reading, plus 1, but we'll get to that at the very end. Now let's talk about these books. This first one is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This was the book that I selected for the prompt of one of my favorite authors, and I truly love Ali Hazelwood. I think she is such a fun romance author, and I'm very intrigued to read about this paranormal romance. Sorry, that's a bookmark popping in. So this is supposed to be about a vampire main female character and werewolf main male character and marriage of convenience. I don't know anything else about it. I want to just go in blind reading this. I've heard nothing but good things about this. And something else that I've learned after watching Heather's videos, people are saying that if you like this book, then you probably like The Fake Mate, I think. Anyway, I digress. This is just supposed to be really good. It's been on my list. I've had it since February when it came out. I was just reading a bunch of other Ali Hazelwood books at the time, but I'm excited to pick this up finally and read it. It should be fun. Yes, this next book, Caraval. This was a prompt for a book with 1 word. I have had the Caraval trilogy for not that long. I got this set for Christmas by my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. So I have all 3 books, but I haven't had a chance to really pick them up or read them. I recently have gotten back into my fantasy phase. I feel like in January, I read a lot of literary fiction and then I got bored. And then in February and March, I've been reading a lot of romance. And then end of March, I'm reading more like thriller suspense. But I'm ready. I'm back. She was back in her fantasy era. I'm very excited to read this book. I know it's young adult romantasy, and I actually have no idea what the series is about. I just know that there is so much hype for it and everybody loves this trilogy. It says, A magnificent debut, a spellbinding tale of love, sacrifice, and hope. The back doesn't really tell me anything, and I'm okay with that. I'm just going to read this with my eyes open, and why would I read with my eyes closed? Unless I'm listening to an audiobook. But I'm just excited to pick this up and read it finally after so much time. This next book is the random letter generator, and the letter was U. So the title is The Undertaking. Okay, I didn't count the because I didn't even notice the at the beginning. The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. I went to a romance bookstore in Kansas City with my sister, and there was a local Kansas City author section, and I had never heard of this book or seen this, but my sister said that she's heard good things about it, and I really liked the cover and the colors and artwork, so I just decided I would pick it up. The top says, "True love might be the death of them. Hart Ralston is a marshal tasked with patrolling the strange and magical wilds of Tanria. Mercy never has a moment to herself. She's been single-handedly keeping Birdsall and Son undertakers afloat in defiance of sullen jerks like Heartache Hart, the man with a knack for showing up right when his patience is thinnest." I don't know what that means either. There's just a lot of good reviews on the back. I think it should be good. The reason why I'm excited to read this book in the month of April is because I got accepted to read the sequel to this book on NetGalley. So I will be picking up that digital copy and downloading it to my Kindle as soon as I finish this one. And I know that one comes out, I believe, in July. So the second one comes out in July. The book that I've had the longest on my shelf, Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. As soon as I read Shadow and Bone, and after I watched the show, I just had heard such good things about this book and this series that I bought the books, but I just never ended up reading them. And what's funny is that I don't even know what this book is even about. Seems to be the theme for all of these books that I have selected for the month of April. Oh, this is her adult debut novel. I didn't know that. I guess Shadow and Bone is young adult, maybe? The Grisha Chronicles trilogy. I don't know what it's called, but I did read them and I really liked them. This one says, "A tale of power, privilege, dark magic, and murder among the Ivy League elite." So I think this is going to be more of fantasy meets dark academia. And it says, Alex Stern is most unlikely member of Yale's freshman class. She ends up being tasked by her mysterious benefactors with monitoring the activities of Yale's secret societies. They tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. This seems right up my alley. I haven't read a dark academia in such a long time. I think the last dark academia book that I read was actually one that I did not like at all, and that was the book by Olivia Blake, Atlas 6. I did not like that story at all. It was boring. The writing was bad. I had even bought the second book too. What is it? Atlas Paradox? But I ended up just selling both of those books because I could not stand the first book. Hopefully I will have a better time reading Ninth House. I already have the second book, Hellbent. So if I like this book, I'll probably add the next one to my May reads. We'll see. This next book was for the prompt of a genre that I really like to read, The Vegetarian by Han Kang. And I didn't know that in 2016, this won one of the 10 best books on New York Times. So this is a book about cannibalism, I think. Before the nightmares began, Young and her husband lived an ordinary, controlled life, but the dreams, invasive images of blood and brutality torture her, driving Young Hugh to purge her mind and renounce eating meat altogether. It's a small act of independence, but it interrupts her marriage and sets into motion an increasingly grotesque chain of events at home. Apparently it is dangerous, bizarre, and about the tale of power, obsession, and one woman's struggle to break free from the violence both outside and within her. Short book, only like 200 pages, but I've been wanting to read it for a while, so no time like the present. This next book that we have is for the prompt of, I don't actually remember. Anyway, it is Poor Things that I'll be reading, Alistair Gray. And this is actually a major motion picture with what's-her-face, Emma Stone, and I love Emma Stone. I've heard nothing but good things about the movie, and I really wanted to pick up the book, and I also just think that the cover of the book is beautiful. I am normally not a fan of the movie covers, but this one is just really pretty, and I wanted to pick it up. I do just despise those little circle unmovable stickers and graphics about, yes, we know that it is a major motion picture. It's probably why we picked it up. So why do you need to add that? Anyway, I think this is like a Frankenstein story. Yes. Says it echoes Frankenstein in this novel of a young woman freeing herself from the confines of a suffocating Victorian society she was created to serve. Poor Things just has been popping around everywhere, and I wanted to watch the movie, but I decided that I'm going to read the book first before I watch the movie, and I know that Mark really wants to watch the movie too, so good thing that I've selected it for this month so that we can finally watch the movie. This next book is for the prompt of a book that you think you'll give 5 stars, and that book is A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. I have never read Frederick Bachman's other writings, but I feel like he's been popping around everywhere. I think when I was in college I tried to read Anxious People and I just couldn't get into it. I'm hoping that this will spark my interest into reading more of Frederick Bachman's stories. This is a book that I've heard will just make you laugh. It'll make you cry, bawl. I know that Taylor Trippett recently read this story. I hope I'm saying her last name right. If I'm not, I'm so sorry, Taylor. But I know that she read this story and she absolutely loves it and recommends it to everybody. So I recently picked this book up in February. Our main character, good old Ove. He is an old grumpy man, and it is just, I think, about how one November morning he gets new neighbors. They're chatty, very opposite of Ove himself, and then this just basically just talks about Ove's life and how it's about an angry old man. Next door is an uplifting exploration of the unreliability of first impressions and a gentle reminder that life is sweeter when it's shared with other people. That just sounds like a book that's gonna make you just cry on the floor and just lose all of your tears from your tear ducts. I am very excited to read this story, and I don't know, Ove, I'm picturing him as the grumpy guy from Up. Now, this last book, it was not a part of the prompts that were selected, but I recently got this book from a local Kansas City bookstore that just opened. And it is a book that I am going to be buddy reading with my friend Sully. Sully is a YouTuber, and I will link her YouTube channel in the description down below, and then up top if I can, or I'll just add her handle or something. We decided that for the month of April, we're gonna try buddy reading together. She lives in Portugal, but we'll be using Storygraph to kind of buddy read and share our thoughts as we read through the chapters. But the book we'll be reading together is Legend Born by Tracy Dion. This is a book that we both decided and chose to read. This is a book about a girl named Bree, and Bree's mom dies, and Bree ends up getting to be a part of this residential program for high schoolers, bright high schoolers, so smart high schoolers at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. things are going great, but then the first night that she's at university, there is a flying demon that starts attacking and feeding on human energies. Once this happens, Bree ends up finding out about a secret society called the Legendborn, and this is a secret society where these students hunt down those demons. That's all I'm gonna read because I want to go in blind a little bit. Sally and I will be reading Legendborn together in April. Please check out her YouTube channel because she is so sweet and her videos are very fun. She does videos about books, but also she does lifestyle videos where she takes you around Portugal, and I think that it's just such a nice way to get to experience another place from a different person's point of view. I have never been to Portugal, but after watching Sully's videos, it makes me want to go visit. Definitely check out Sully's YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe to her content because she makes great content and she is a fellow booktuber that I enjoy watching videos from. And she's also just a really nice human being, and we need more of that in our lives. And with that, those are the books that I am planning on reading for the month of April. I am not necessarily in a book buying ban, but I'm on a book buying ban, and I just need to get through my physical TBR. And actually, I'm surprised as to how much fun I had with this TBR prompt jar. So I think each month I'm just gonna keep going through until I finish all 30 prompts that I have in that jar. But it'll be fun to slowly get through my TBR. Thank you so much for watching. If you have read any of those books that I plan on reading for the month of April, please comment down below, and no spoilers, but maybe like a yay or nay. And I can't wait to give you my own thoughts. Until next time, I will talk to you soon. Bye.